dark origin of the Southern Jack-o'-lantern. Hey everyone, welcome back to Black History Stories 13, the channel where we uncover powerful, hidden truths about our past. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you never miss a story that matters. Did you know the first jack-o'-lanterns in the American South may not have been pumpkins, but something far more disturbing? Before Halloween became a fun night of costumes and candy, it carried a dark shadow from slavery, a story whispered through generations of black families in the South. According to old oral traditions, some enslavers used pure terror to control people. They would take the head of a person who'd been killed or caught trying to escape, hollow it out, and place a candle or burning coal inside. That glowing image, a skull lit from within, was meant to send a message: don't run, don't resist. While historians trace the jack-o'-lantern's origin back to Ireland, from an old folktale about a man named Stingy Jack, something different happened in the South. Those Irish pumpkin traditions merged with the trauma of slavery. For many African Americans, the image of a glowing face in the dark wasn't just decoration. It was a reminder of the fear used to keep our ancestors enslaved. So when people carved pumpkins years later, some black elders said quietly, the first jack-o'-lantern wasn't no pumpkin, it was a head. That story isn't written in history books. It lived in the voices of grandmothers and elders who remembered the cruelty of the plantations. Whether every detail was literal or symbolic, the truth behind it is real, because slavery was built on fear, and fear was passed down through story. There are oral traditions and African American folklore accounts that describe slave owners or overseers using real human remains, sometimes described as skulls or black heads, with candles or lights placed inside to terrify enslaved people and keep them from escaping at night. According to these oral stories, enslavers would behead a person who had run away or was killed, then hollow out the skull, place a candle or ember inside, and display it near the woods or plantation gates to frighten others. These lanterns were meant as psychological terror, a warning to enslaved Africans not to run. Some older black communities in the South passed these stories down as a dark reminder of the cruelty of slavery. Number 2, how that connects to the jack-o'-lantern. Historically speaking, the original jack-o'-lantern tradition came from Ireland, with Stingy Jack and the turnip. But when Irish immigrants arrived in America, some folklore historians believe their pumpkin carving traditions mixed with Southern stories, including gruesome real events or rumors involving heads used as lanterns on plantations. So while the Irish tale is the official origin, the Southern version that circulated among black communities gave it a new and much darker layer of meaning, a mix of trauma, warning, and truth about what enslaved people endured. That's why in parts of the Deep South, older generations sometimes said, open quote, the first jack-o'-lantern wasn't no pumpkin, it was a head, close quote. 3, why this matters. Even if that specific practice wasn't widespread or documented officially in slave records, which often left out brutal acts, the oral history is full because it reflects what people saw or feared. It also shows how enslaved Africans kept their own version of history alive, even when white society tried to bury or sanitize it. That fearsome image, a light inside a head, symbolized oppression, death, and warning. When pumpkins later became the symbol for Halloween in the South, some people believed it echoed that same terror, but with the story cleaned up and commercialized. So yes, the story you heard likely comes from African American oral history that preserved the memory of enslavers using horrific scare tactics. The jack-o'-lantern we know today didn't originate from that, but those Southern tales became interwoven with Halloween's development in the U.S., giving it a disturbing racial subtext that most people don't know about. Halloween decorations, their history actually ties into some deeper folklore and even into racial imagery that affected black people in America. Let's break it down clearly. 1. The original Irish legend. The jack-o'-lantern began as an Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. According to legend, Jack tricked the devil multiple times and, when he died, wasn't allowed into heaven or hell. The devil gave him only a burning coal to light his way through the darkness. Jack put the coal into a hollowed-out turnip, creating the first jack-o'-lantern. Literally, Jack of the Lantern. When Irish immigrants came to America, they found pumpkins more common than turnips, so they started carving pumpkins instead. 2. The American twist. When the tradition reached the U.S., it merged with fall harvest festivals and Halloween. But as the 1800s went on, pumpkin imagery took on darker meanings in American culture, especially during and after slavery. 3. Racist caricatures and pumpkin imagery. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, newspapers, Halloween cards, and minstrel shows often used pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns in racist depictions of black people. Some early Halloween imagery showed exaggerated black faces side by side with carved pumpkins, both drawn with wide eyes and mouths, mocking black features. These images were part of the minstrel show culture that dehumanized black people for entertainment. The pumpkin's bright orange color contrasted with blackface makeup, reinforcing harmful stereotypes. So while the jack-o'-lantern itself didn't come from black culture, white artists and advertisers used it to mock and stereotype black people during the Jim Crow era. 4. The symbolic connection. There's a haunting symbolic overlap too. The hollowed-out lanterns and burning lights were sometimes compared to haunted or lost souls, and racist writers used this imagery to portray black people as spooky or primitive. Around Halloween, caricatures often showed black children stealing pumpkins or being chased by ghosts, meant to make black people seem foolish or mischievous. 5. The cultural reclaiming today. Today, many black artists, educators, and historians are reclaiming the narrative, reminding people that Halloween and jack-o'-lanterns are ancient Celtic traditions, not black stereotypes. The racist imagery was a product of white supremacy in American media, not the object itself. Understanding this helps reveal how even innocent traditions were used to spread racist ideas, and how knowledge can reclaim power. But our ancestors also passed down strength, the kind that turns pain into wisdom. By remembering these stories, we take back what was hidden and shine our own light through the darkness. If this story moved you, share it with someone who loves history and keep spreading truth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for more untold Black history right here on Black History Stories 13. Because every story we tell keeps our ancestors' light burning.